And hello there, everybody. How are you all doing today? Oh, my hair is sticking up like a rooster comb. Actually, that's I was gonna say peacock comb, but that's not what peacocks have. Okay, well now we're looking decent now. Okay, we're looking decent. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. My day so far been pretty all right. Uh, by the way, hey there, Bass Acklers. Welcome back to the stream, friendo. How are you doing today? Gonna be starting up some FF16 here right in a moment. I apparently forgot to get my capture up, so I'm gonna do that really fast. And then, yeah. Should be but a moment. Then I gotta turn the console on, of course. But a moment. Yes, everything is but a moment. Including mind sound, which I need to also sort out for the capture. Which I believe should be about this volume. Perfect. Oh, rebuilding database. What? Oh, is it because it had to do the update? I thought it took care of that. I thought it took care of that on its own. Okay, well, hold on then. I didn't think it was gonna do this. It's only like 3 minutes apparently. It's not too bad, but okay, 70 seconds. It's going quicker than expected. Ugh. Yeah, so how has everybody been? Anybody have any weekend plans? It's like there's only 31 seconds left. I don't really have any. Well, I kind of do actually. I need to go out and do some shopping for some things. I gotta go and get a what is it? I gotta go and get a gotta get a few things actually. I gotta go out and get some new paint for my model because I spilled a lot of paint out that I was using. So I have been working on like Warhammer minis. I spilled one of the paint things and I felt really bad about it. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna well, I feel bad about it. Not that Megan was using it, but Megan also like put money down on the paint because we like split it. So I feel bad. I guess I'll update the controller too. That shouldn't take too long. So I felt bad. So I'm gonna go out tomorrow and I'm gonna pick up a new paint. It's like only one of the paints that we use, but you know, to be fair, I'm using it a lot anyway. So you know, I that's like one thing I want to do this weekend. I want to go out and pick up another one of the paints. I'm hoping to be able to show you guys soon. By the way, I'm thinking by next stream I should be able to, because it should be all done and completely assembled and everything like that. Then I want to go out and pick up a new outdoor lock for my gate. I need to look for a carbon monoxide detector for the basement since I haven't put one in since I got the new furnace up. Hold on, let me get the Elgato up. There we go. So I do have a fair few things to do this weekend. Actually, it's just none of it's really all that fun. Is really the gist of it. Not a lot of it's all that fun. A lot of it's actually very the opposite of fun. Well, I mean, I'm gonna have Megan there, so that's gonna be fun. Obviously, spending time with her while we do it. But you know, in terms of like proper fun, yeah, it's nothing really fun. Although I'm sure we'll do fun stuff when we get home. So I do believe I had the other hunt to do. I had that one mark I wanted to do. We'll go back to the hideaway to do it. Well, to look up the thing. I still have a picture on my phone. Excuse me, on my phone, but I don't know if I look looking at it. See, Bass Ackward says I'm doing pretty well. Just moving to PC. PC. Is that a place where you are? Does the C stand for college? Or do you mean moving to PCs in your literal PC? Maybe I'm dumb. It's very possible and also highly likely. I don't really have any weekend plans either. Hopefully it didn't spill on anything important, although you probably have a dedicated workspace for that. Yeah, it didn't really spill on anything important. It almost did, mind you. It came close to spilling on some of my models. Some of my models, because I've been painting them disassembled. Normally, what you normally do is you put them together and then you paint them. But the way this one model kind of works, I felt it would be a little bit better and I could probably get more detail in by painting it in parts and pieces. It's been more of a pain in the ass and it's taken longer, but that's what I've been doing. So I have them kind of set out on the table. I spilled paint. It kind of went towards it, but it didn't like touch anything. It stained the work mat that we have down on there, but that's really all it did. So yeah, no, it was fine. It just sucks, but like Sal. And I told Megan, I'm like, Megan, I'm paying for this one. Like, we're not splitting this one. I'm paying for this one. Did I ever tell you about the time I took a trip to the island west of Storm?
You mean the Iron Kingdom?
Is that what you call them, Kupo? In Moogle tongue, we call them the Smithies, and the strait that separates them from the mainland to something or other. I was adventuring down the Dunlakian coast, and I saw bright lights and black shadows to Imagine my disappointment when I learned those lights and shadows weren't busy forges staining land with soot, but blighted rocks, blah, blah, blah. So from what I've learned, how local street changes there, Kupo is probably for the best. I didn't get a chance to say good day. Man, speaking Moogle is hard. Yeah, I prefer to be PC compared to mobile. Okay, fair. I took moving to quite literally in my head. Yeah, so the first S rank that we have. So where is this one? Fallen Giant in the Rosarian Ruins. So I'm not entirely sure where that could be. I have guesses. I have some guesses. I guess while I'm here, I could also hit up the shop and fill up on potions again. But yeah, it's really about it. I should show you guys Megan's guys too, actually. She's basically done with her painting, with her minis that she's been painting. Like, I think she's more finished than me, although I think we're pretty close still.
You're rubbing me blind, you know.
And hers look really good, might I add.
You'll not find a better price than that.
I'm not saying mine looks like crap, but hers look like really good. Go buy around.
Welcome back, Sid.
I forgot to do that the other day too.
Well, someone's in a good mood. Drink up, you lot. The next round's on Sid.
Hey. So yeah, so that's all been fun. I don't know if we're gonna do any. Oops. Oh, I'm spilling. Well, I didn't spill my water. I knocked over my water bottle though.
Oh, you're not leaving already, are you?
Oh, I'm just gonna restart my Elgato. Give me just 1 sec, which means I'm also gonna need to turn the volume down again. Just give me 1 second. There you go. Nailed it before you guys could even really hear. Oh. Okay, I think we're in the clear. There we go. But yes, that's been all good. Yeah, I've really enjoyed painting these minis. Like, Megan and I have even been looking up all these,
Nobleman who visited.
tutorial videos on them too. Like we're going like pretty hardcore into it now, actually. Like, hold on, give me 1 sec. Like, oh, I just want to send a message real quick. Sorry about this. Okay. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, we've gotten pretty hardcore into it. Like a few days ago, actually. Like actually, the day. It may have been the day even the day I spilled the paint. We went out and because what Megan and I talked about. See, okay, I need to get kind of my thoughts in order here, because I want to say so much, but in the end, like I just need to think like how I'm gonna tell a story that gets us there. So when we started this, Megan and I were like, yeah, we're just gonna do like very basic kind of like painting stuff. We're just gonna like paint the minis. We're gonna accept that's probably not gonna look super great, but you know we'll know we're gonna get better. Blah blah blah. But now that we've started, we're like, okay, let's look up tutorials on like how shades work properly, differences between contrast paints and normal paints, and how to thin a paint properly. And like I was learning how to use metal paints properly because I've been using metallic paints for my guys, which I think came out really, really awesomely. Actually, I'm really proud of it. And then you have like just like and like basing, we told ourselves like with our bases we're just gonna leave them basic and not really do anything with them. And now it's like, oh, you know, watch the video on it. Now we're like, okay, now I kind of have an idea of how I want to do my base. I'm gonna, yeah, I got some like stones and I got some stuff that I'm gonna paint and like put on my base, and I got these little tufts of like grass that I'm gonna put on the base. It's like, man, it's become much more of a thing than what it originally started out as. So let me think here, right? So, East Pool. Ruins? It mentioned ruins, and East Pool is the only place I can think of that has ruins in it. That might do it. That might do it. That might be the place. I mean, there are bandits here, but like...
Time to fight.
I can maybe think of like one more place, maybe, that might have it. But I want to say it's here. I was gonna say a couple of you is doing some magic, and I don't know if I like that very much. Okay, all right, you can do that. You get one in. I'll give you one. But yeah, Megan and I have been going super hard on painting minis, so I'm actually really excited to show you guys the finished product. Like I said, by next stream, definitely, although I'll probably have pictures up on Twitter, well, X. I'm gonna keep calling it Twitter, I don't really care. And Discord. Probably sooner than that, but I'll definitely show it off on stream proper by just going like, here, guys, check out my mini. Right. Because I'm actually really proud of how they're turning out. Like for a mini that, like for not having painted minis in like a decade, to kind of getting back into it, I'm really, really happy and really proud of how they're coming out. And I'm really proud of Megan too, actually, with considering she's never done it before. Like the amount of detail and work she's put into it really impresses me. So I'm honestly really proud of Megan's work too on it. And I do find it kind of funny how her and I are kind of going for like a different like type of scheming for our minis. Like her Warhammer minis are much more like brightly colored, and mine are more darkly colored. Not like intended, like it's not wasn't intended to be that way. That we both just have like different color schemes. It's just I kind of got this idea for like some dudes in my head, and I was like, I want to do that. And Megan like really likes her like color blue and everything, so she painted her guys mostly a blue scheme, which is much more brighter than mine, right? Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna post mine after too. Yeah, like we're gonna I'll probably show both our minis at the same time. Because they're both basically done. It's just little bits here and there. Like if Megan and I do any tonight, we could probably finish it. And if not by tonight, by tomorrow for sure if we do some. It's just if we were able to actually do some. Let's hey, Cool Mario Dude. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing today, friendo? Hopefully you're doing well, my dude. Oh, there's a thing here that I don't think I've actually seen. We're just talking about mini painting. As in like Megan, my girlfriend, and I have been painting miniatures. And I was just kind of talking about that. See, Cool Mario Dude says, I'm doing great. Did you see the 1,000 Year Door trailer? Or the Nintendo Direct? Yeah, we did. I did actually. Megan and I actually watched that on stream the other day. Really fun, really interesting. I liked it. I actually have been seeing some stuff on Reddit. And even on some of the Discords I'm in, like actually the majority of Discords I'm in, that are basically just saying, is this it? Is this all we're getting? And and I literally said at the end of the Nintendo Direct, there are gonna be some people that expect like a ton of super exciting stuff, when really we just gotta accept that not everything is gonna be, you know, like the Ghost Trick remaster, where Megan and I, for example, go, oh my god, right? You know, like it's still good though, but as predicted, people on Reddit and on Discord have been really cynical about it, right? Cool Mario Dude says, I hope they do our girl Vivian right, though. I'm sure they will. Please don't hate me for saying this, by the way, but I have not actually played 1,000 Year Door. I know enough about the game. I'm not saying like, oh, spoiler. Like I'm not saying that. I just always like to let people know that when it comes to Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, if anything, I'm kind of a fake fan. I appreciate the game. I've never actually finished the whole thing though. I think I played the game and I got to the 1,000 Year Door and then I'm like, it's pretty all right. And then I put it down and then I just never picked it back up. Which, yeah. But soon I'll probably actually do them. I might do them on stream as well. I think those are RPGs I could get through on stream pretty easily. 873. Eastpool, 873. May their flame burn ever in our hearts. That's actually very sweet. Best Record says, oh my god, yeah, for some people are like, oh no, it's remakes. Where's Odyssey 2 or something? But Switch 2 is coming very soon. These long requested remakes are such a great thing to do in that time. So like the first 10 minutes, yeah, the remake gives you that opportunity. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I know. Well, to be fair, I probably played farther. I don't remember though. I remember the 1,000 Year Door opening, but I don't remember anything past that. I probably played through the first like actual proper level, probably, but this was ages ago, and I'm pretty sure it was when I rented the game. I've since bought the game, but it's been sitting on my shelf, which I'm glad I bought it, because now the game goes for like a lot of money. And when I bought it, it was probably like 60 bucks or something. So I'm happy I got it when I did. But, you know, at the same time, I don't know, I just never got around to playing it. I'm not too sure why, because the game wasn't bad. I enjoyed it from what I played. And I love the original Paper Mario. I played the original Paper Mario like a good few times. Okay, well, I don't think the mark is around here. But I've just never got around to actually playing 1,000 Year Door. And yeah, like Bass Ackwards says, like, yeah, too many people are just too like, and see, it's not even like these are people I don't know either. Like a few of my really good friends as well were even like, man, this is all we're getting. And all I could think of was, oh my god, we literally talked about this at the end of the last stream. I thought it was really funny, to be honest. But very predictable. Very predictable. Like I was like I said, I wasn't blown away by the direct, but you know, it was good enough for what it was. Like I was happy enough with it. Yeah, I don't know. People oh wait. Oh, the UI went away, so I thought maybe it was going to a cutscene. I thought maybe I found what I wanted. I think in a weird way, like E3 kind of spoiled people in a bit. Even though E3 hasn't been like a proper thing for a while, I think E3 kind of spoiled people. Cause like you see like a direct or a conference or anything like that, and you're like, oh, the next big announcement's coming. But you can't have a big announcement every month, right? Like you can't. It's not feasible. You can't do something like that even every like 3 or 5 months, right? You gotta just like chill. You gotta let game devs cook, you know, you gotta let them cook a bit. I'm glad you guys were pretty like into the direct though. I really appreciate that. Like cool Mario dude here being all into it, Bass Ackwards being into it, you know, like really nice. Like that's why I appreciate you guys, because you guys I believe understand that, you know, not everything can be the biggest thing in gaming, and just sometimes you got to be okay with the direct that we have, you know. Okay, so it wasn't there where I thought it would be. So it's ruins? They're talking about ruins. So the only other thing I can think of is here. So like we'll check that, I guess. Bass Ackford says part of it is the leaks. True. Like if you know that F-Zero and a DK game are coming, you would probably be disappointed. If it's a F-Zero 99 and a remaster of DK 94, the new game seems to be based on it. Really? I mean, that's pretty cool. But yeah. I get that,
Thank
right?
you for sticking with us.
Maybe you're right. Maybe part of it is leaks. Maybe leaks are the problem. Because I don't really keep up on leaks. Like if I see a leak, I'm like, oh, that's cool, you know. But I don't really seek them out, as it were, you know. So maybe that's why you're right. Maybe that's why I was more like cool with it. Okay, wait, is this not it? Wait, which area am I thinking of? Am I thinking of over here? I think I am. Nah, it can't be Loft Wing. Ah, shoot, you know, it could actually be a few places, because they're talking about ruins in Rosaria, and there's like a few of those. Let's actually start over here, because it might be here, but I'm also thinking it might even be here. Well, it can't be, because there's a shop there. I don't keep up on leaks, but I do hear about it after the direct, because a lot of people just talk about the direct in terms of the leaks. Yeah, that's reasonable. Look, to anyone that actually does like look at leaks, by the way, I'm not saying it's a problem.
Come on.
In the end, like, people do what they want, right? Look at leaks if you want, etc., etc. Like, say if I see them, like, I'm not like anti-leak. I'm anti-leak when it's dumb, but I'm not anti-leak when, like, you know, it's just someone's just saying, oh, rumors of X game coming out. I'm like, if I see it, cool. And when I say dumb, I mean like the GTA 6 leak, right? Where the alpha build got leaked and people were like, oh my god, look how terrible it is. They don't even have AI. That's the kind of leak I find stupid, because then that's, you know, that's the kind of leak I find stupid. But yeah, if it's like, oh, X game is coming out, like, oh, okay. Fair. Like, I mean, still probably not good, because the dev probably doesn't want that leaked, but, you know.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
I forgot that happened, but yeah, that did, yeah. I don't know. But it's true, though. Leaks can ruin a surprise to people, you know? Like, they can ruin a lot of things.
straight home now.
Not even just like in video games either, but like I know for a long time, maybe it is still maybe it is still more of a problem. But like I know even in wrestling, like leaks can actually ruin like a lot. Because as people know, I am a bit of a wrestling fan. I do like my wrestling when I watch it, right? But I know leaks in wrestling can also be like really damaging, because you'll have like a leak of, oh, so and so is gonna be returning this week, and then it ruins the surprise. And then when they come out and it's supposed to be like, oh my god, it's like, oh cool, yeah, I knew that. You know? Is that the enemy? No, it's not. I don't remember it being here before, though. Huh. You were an enemy on the board, though, weren't you, the Red Moose? You never considered leaks in wrestling could happen? Oh yeah, no. Leaks in wrestling happen like all the time. They're called something a bit different though. I think in wrestling they're known as like dirt sheets. But it's basically the same thing. Like it's more of a, oh, so and so is gonna be returning this week, and etc. etc. Like it ruins a lot of the surprise. Like, I don't know how much it happens lately, because I haven't really watched wrestling in like not properly in like a long time. But it is funny how much of an issue it is there too. And there's even, I don't remember who it was. I think it was when this wrestler named Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, I think. He was like really well loved by a lot of people, and I think he was making his return and debut on the main roster after like not being around for a while, and people were like, oh my god, I didn't know he was coming back, oh so hype. Oh well, I'm glad this didn't get spoiled in like anything, because that would have ruined the surprise. And it got me thinking like, yeah, you know what, that kind of stuff does ruin the surprise with someone like coming back and making a return. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's funny though. Well, not funny as in like a funny good thing. Just like funny as in like how much leaks can actually damage hype for something. Kick the ball. There you go. But yeah, I never really thought about that when it comes to conferences and how that can affect people's viewing of it. Is it not here? I will find this mark. I will find the mark I'm looking for. If it's not here though, I'm not really too sure where it could be. Well, unless it's on the outside of that one set of ruins. You know, one of these days though, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but one of these days I might need to have like just an actual like proper fun discussion about wrestling. I don't know if I could show any clips or anything. I don't know. That might be something I can't do, but well, I don't know, maybe I could. I'm not too sure. I don't know how much WWE would care about a lot of its like older stuff. I feel like they'd care a lot, but at the same time, I don't know. But I should at the very least have a discussion about wrestling at some point, because it is one thing that I am pretty passionate about in terms of why I enjoyed it and why I don't really enjoy it now, but like why I like it as a thing that exists, you know. Man, you're not going down, are you, bum? Knocked the fuck out. Cause yeah, like one night, a long time ago, I think it's a couple years ago now. I was talking with one friend about wrestling, actually, about The Undertaker specifically. And I went on this whole thing. It literally took like a couple hours, I think. But I was like, here, let me show you like what I deem the chronologically important aspects of like The Undertaker, what he did, and like the matches and why they're good. And I took him through like a few matches, and I'm like, see, this is good because of this reason, and this is what was going on, and this is what it means, and it was pretty fun actually. Yeah, I basically took a friend throughout like the entire like history of The Undertaker, even up to like his last match at the time, which was really fun actually. That was a very enjoyable night. It took a while, like it wasn't a very quick thing to do, but it was still fun. But you also have like a lot of good YouTubers out there that do similar things. So I could even just recommend like, watch Super Eye Patch Wolf, you know? Like watch Super Eye Patch Wolf stuff on wrestling. He does a really good job on it. Oh God. Kind of makes me a little sad though, because if I were to do something like that, I'd probably need to emphasize like, yeah, probably don't watch like modern wrestling. It's not really as good as it used to be. I mean, maybe, who knows with WWE now being owned by a separate company, now maybe things will actually change. Maybe it'll be good again. I don't know. Not a single clue. You know, though I say that, and that still doesn't stop me from watching WrestleMania every single year. Let's see. I'm surprising that could be so accurate, although even if I did follow the leaks, I wouldn't really take too much stock in them because of the Grinch leak. I don't know why anyone bought that. I think they'd be very copyright strike happy, but I'd love to hear you talk more about it. I mean, yeah, probably. Like, I don't think I could show anything. I could maybe like, I don't know, like maybe drop. Yeah, see, I don't know what I could do, to be honest. I'm not really too sure, because like I can't show the matches, but I feel like that's the important aspect. So I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it, or maybe I'll just talk about it, or maybe I can show like little clips. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, it's one of those things like I could talk about a lot of, if I'm being honest. It's like it really was like a fairly big part of my childhood, because I watched SmackDown, I watched Raw every single week, Every single week without fail. The moment that started, I was plopped down from that TV, and I was watching Triple H fight like Stone Cold and The Rock and like Kane and The Undertaker teaming up and everything. Like I watched all of that like every week. I didn't always watch every pay-per-view, mind you. Because my parents were always kind of like stingy on the whole paying aspect for it. Rightfully so, mind you. But so I didn't watch every pay-per-view, but sometimes I did. But yeah, no, I could talk on about that for ages. Like hell, I even wanted to be like a wrestler when I was younger. I wanted to be one. Truth be told, I've still thought about like, oh, if I started training now, I could at least like learn some stuff. But I don't really think it's the kind of thing for me. If I'm being honest. Not because it's like too athletic or anything. I don't know. I just have too many other things I want to try to set my sights on. I don't really think learning wrestling would be a thing for me anymore. But you never know. I don't know. Some people get into it when they're like really old too. Hell, older than like hell. I know people like in their 50s that started like learning how to wrestle. Like I don't know them personally, but I know of them.
They killed everyone. Took everything.
Not everything. You still have your life. And it's up to you to decide what you do with it.
I never did come back here when they buried the bodies, did I?
The victims at the Viceroy's culling have been buried, but they will not be forgotten. We Guardians won't let this happen again.
So yeah, I don't know. That's my whole thing with wrestling. Yeah, I love watching his wrestling stuff too. Super Eye Patch Wolf does like good videos in general, and I was honestly really impressed when I found out. Oh, he's done wrestling videos too. I haven't seen like the last two that he's put up, but I want to. One of them will make me really sad now, actually, since I know Bray Wyatt's The Fiend is on the thumbnail, and now I can only see that and think, man, so much potential like that'll never be realized. Because he's passed away now. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, passed away like I think a couple weeks ago. Really sad. Really sad. Especially for a wrestling fan such as myself that enjoyed his work. But yeah, no, I don't know. Wrestling is just one of those things that like just sets off some kind of like weird little passion in my brain that I can just talk about forever. I can go back and talk about like, oh yeah, Stone Cold was like, he did this, and The Rock, you know, this happened, and then this happened, and yeah, etc., etc. And it's same with history, like even like with history stuff too. I can go on about like anything historical for hours, if given the opportunity, right? And given the topic, I probably could. Okay, let me have a think here. Let me also just look something up. Well, I'm not gonna look anything up. I'm just gonna look at the picture that I took the other day. Because I took pictures, for anyone that doesn't know, of the signboard in the game. Just so I get some hints. Cursebreakers, fallen giant in the Rosarian ruins. And the Rosarian ruins. 3 reads. Rosarian Ruins. Restless ruins. We checked here. We didn't see anything. This is a marsh. There's like nothing along here. There's nothing along here. I'll go in here, but I don't think there'd be anything in here if there's a shop though. Amber isn't ruins. It's not East Pool because I've been there. I even went all the way over here to the dim. Rosarian Ruins, huh? It can't be a place that I haven't been to. See, Bass says, speaking of history, a fun story I remember is about how Germany tried to establish a community in Texas back when that could have went somewhere. It was majorly botched by bureaucracy. Really? See, I don't know about that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, actually. See, I like learning about that kind of stuff. It's fun, you know? No further than the village gate. So there's the village. Okay, hold on. No further than the village gate. So there's a gate. It might, to be fair, it might actually still be around here. Like, maybe it is in here. Nah, see, it has comforting music. The comforting music gives it away that it's not gonna be in here. Village gate. So it's in the ruins? Hold on. Due to the discovery of fallen giant in the Rosarian ruins, we have lately been investigating. All work in the region is to be halted. The immediate effect on all members that proceed no further than the village gate, lest the echo should be awakened by our presence. The village gate. So there's a village involved. No further than the village gate. So it's probably in the village. It's probably gated. Ruins. I mean, it's not going to be down this way, I don't think. But at the same time, now I'm not too sure. Because I don't know if these count as ruins up here. I don't think they do. But there is a gate. So, I mean, in theory, maybe. Nah, it's a bunch of people here. Huh. The Rose Gate.
Open the damn gates!
Not a step closer!
Ruins of Rosalith. Okay. So there's a few places it could be. Eastpool would be my guess, but it's not Eastpool. This is the other place I could think of. Maybe it is in here and I just didn't investigate enough. Cressidia. That's a ruin. I forgot that was a ruin because we had the guy take us there. That's right. That's right. Okay, we might be onto something. I think because I think that is a village and it is a ruin. So actually, I think that's it. Okay, I think we're onto something. I think we're onto something here. We're actually making progress nearly an hour in. To be fair, I've had fun talking. I don't know how much fun everybody else has had, mind you, but I've had fun talking. So yeah, it should be not along here, but it should be somewhere close. Yeah, just a little bit further this way. Does anybody here have a favorite, like, historical fact, by the way? I'm trying to think what mine would be, because, like, if I had to pick, like, a favorite... Okay, so, like, one of my, favorite historical facts is, well, what I believe is considered a fact anyway, is just how chill of a guy, Hannibal was. Because, like, I remember reading... I should probably find the quote, actually. So, just to... so people know in case they don't. So back in the days of Rome, you had, like, in the early days of Rome, you had this guy named Hannibal who completely, like, tore through Rome. He was like, he was a part of this other empire called, if you want to call it an empire, I think it could be considered an empire, called Carthage. And yeah, he was a guy who was sworn when he was younger to basically never like Rome. And he marched on Rome with elephants through the Alps, and he decimated Rome, and he still lost. But I mean, you know, he decimated Rome, and the Romans, like, basically feared the man to a degree, right? But I think I read that years later. Hold on, let me find the quote. I want to find the quote because, like, what was it? Maybe it's on. It might be on Wikipedia. Let me actually see, because I might have read it on Wikipedia at one point. Let me just find it because it's gonna bother me if I don't. Where is it? Where is it? Because, like, he met with someone later. Maybe this is it actually. Maybe not. Because, like, later on, he met with a guy. I think the guy that defeated him, or one of the people that defeated him, like, later, and, like, they actually had a very pleasant conversation. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is the quote. So, as it says here, Hannibal is greatly regarded as one of the best military strategists and tacticians of all time. Look him up if you're not too sure of that, because it's probably true. Several years after the Second Punic War, Hannibal served as a political advisor in the Seleucid kingdom, and Scipio, who was a Roman general, arrived there on a diplomatic mission from Rome. And this is a quote from something. I don't know what it's from, but it is said that at one of their meetings in the gymnasium, Scipio and Hannibal had a conversation on the subject of generalship in the presence of a number of bystanders. And and remember, these guys fought each other, right? And that Scipio asked Hannibal whom he considered the greatest general, in which the latter replied, Alexander of Macedonia. To this, Scipio assented, since he also yielded the first place to Alexander. So basically, because Scipio beat Hannibal, Scipio's trying to, like... He's trying to get Hannibal to say, like, okay, well, you're the better military commander, right? I think is what's going on here. But they both acknowledge that Alexander the Great is, you know, the better general than both of them. But then he asked Hannibal whom he placed next. And he replied, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, Pyrrhus of Epirus, because he considered boldness the first qualification of a general. For it would not be possible, he said, to find two kings more enterprising than these. Scipio rather nettled by this, but nevertheless he asked Hannibal to whom he would give the third place, expecting that at least the third would be assigned to him. But Hannibal replied, "To myself, for when I was a young man I conquered Hispania," which is Spain, "and crossed the Alps with an army, the first after Hercules. As Scipio saw that he was likely to prolong his self-laudation, he said, laughing, "Where would you place yourself, Hannibal, if you had not been defeated by me?" Hannibal, now perceiving his jealousy, replied, "In that case, I should have put myself before Alexander." Thus Hannibal continued his self-laudation, but flattered Scipio in an indirect manner by suggesting that he had conquered one who was superior to Alexander. See, that's what I kind of like, right? Is like Hannibal in like a weird way gave Scipio a lot of praise. And like Scipio kind of accepted that in a way. He's like, well, you know, Hannibal sees himself as the greatest general, even more so than Alexander in that regard. But at the same time, like, I beat him, so I beat someone who is better. You know, like, it's weird. Like, ancient people are weird in that regard. You know. At the end of this conversation, Hannibal invited Scipio to be his guest, and Scipio replied that he would be so gladly if Hannibal were not living with Antiochus, who was held in suspicion by the Romans. Thus did they, in a manner worthy of great commanders, cast aside their enmity at the end of the wars. See, I think that's cool, right? That's something I think is pretty cool, right? How you had these two guys, they fought each other, they clashed, one lost, the other won. They had a nice cordial, like, get together later on in life, in a different empire, and they just had a nice conversation. And it's like, oh, you know, compliments thrown each other's way to a degree. And yeah, just like cool people. That's one thing I really like, right? I like ancient people for that. Like, yeah, if you want to read the quote yourself, it's on Wikipedia. And I know they say don't trust Wikipedia, but I think this is actually from like something legit, right? But that's what I like. I like that kind of stuff. There's so many fun historical facts, I'm not sure. I remember there was some shogun, I don't remember the position, but they had a strategy where the entire front line committed harakiri so that the opposition would be scared into leaving, and I think it worked. Huh. Yeah, I'm not too sure if I've heard of that, but I could see that being a thing, to be fair. I could definitely see that being a thing. Yeah, history is cool. So one thing I always tell people, right? Because you get a lot of people that, to be fair, rightfully say history is boring. And I love history, but I say rightfully say it's boring because a lot of the history that they teach you in school is actually more on the boring side, right? So I always tell people, if you ever want to try learning history, learn it on your own and look up stuff that you think might be interesting, right? Like, I didn't really get my interest in history, funnily enough, until I started playing video games. Video games is what... Oh, this is the giant right here. Video games is what started my interest in history, because I played Rome Total War, and I thought, oh, the Romans are pretty cool. And then I looked it up a bit more, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty interesting history. And then I played like Hearts of Iron 2, and I'm like, that's pretty cool stuff. I like how all this like historical stuff's happening, because they would have like events pop up and you could read it, and I'd be like, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. And then it got to the point where, to kind of prep for the game in a way, I started reading more about World War II. And then I got really interested in it, and now I just look up all sorts of historical things because I think it's really neat, right? Which is why I know a little bit more about like the Sengoku Jidai in Japan, and I know more about like the Warring States period in China, and I just think it's all really neat. Atlas. All right, we're fighting Atlas. Speaking of history, right? You're level 45.
Well, it seems this one has a little more life left in it.
You're 10 levels ahead of me, dude. Oh my god. I'm not doing anything. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat this guy.
Nice try.
If I can, I'll be really impressed with myself. Yikes. Because I'm like legitimately doing very little to him. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, you're gonna be a tough customer. You're gonna be a really tough customer. I'm gonna try to beat him. I'm gonna try beating him. I'm gonna try a couple times. I think I might be able to do it. It's just gonna be hard, but I think I can actually do it. I just like reading about interesting history stories, although it's not often talked about in school, which is kind of understandable because they have a curriculum they have to go through. Yeah, right. Like I can't even really blame school for being boring with history. But like it is very true though, right? Like history only gets really interesting when you look at the stuff they don't teach you in school. Like, you know, well, like I say, the Warring States period in China, that's a really, really interesting period of history. You know?
Fly, Ambrosia.
And then like you have, you know, the World Wars, like as an obvious one, but as the less obvious one, you have what's like a less obvious thing that's also like pretty darn cool.
Time to fight.
I'm trying to think of like a less obvious thing, like besides, you know, just China and the Warring States period. Like really anything medieval, right? Like anything in the medieval to Renaissance like area. Because like you have the war of like, what is it? The War of the Two Brothers or something, which I don't know if that's what it's called entirely, but it's the one where Prussia at the time, not Russia, but Prussia, fought
from here.
Austria for dominance in Germany. Honestly, even just German history is really impressive. Like not counting like the awful things they did in like, you know, World War II and all. But like you look at the history of Germany, it's really interesting. I think I even mentioned it on stream once when Megan was around. And I was like, yeah, you know, Germany is actually like a really young country. It's actually younger than the United States. And she's like, really? Because you wouldn't expect it. Like Germany as a country, right? And then you have a war I didn't even really know about until like, what, maybe a few years ago, which was the war that Sweden led against Russia. Like when Sweden was like really ballsy and like really into kicking like ass. And they like fought and had a war with Russia. It's like, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting stuff. Yeah, the winter war between Russia and Finland, which is basically just like a subset of like World War II combat, but like yeah, like all that is really interesting to me.